everyone. I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. San Diego's craft beer and hard cider industry could power the future using renewable energy. And researchers are teaming up with a brewing company to turn beverage waste into biofuel. Abby Black shows us how a drink could one day power up a car's engine.
Inside a USD engineering lab, undergraduate students are brewing up something unexpected, a recipe for biofuel.
A third of beer wastewater or cider wastewater.
Mix that with kelp and fish waste and you have energy to power a car.
Gas prices are getting expensive for anything, so you can use this at home, and I think that that's really amazing for people.
The project sparked when Dr. Odesma Dalrymple, USD's Director of Engineering Exchange for Social Justice, learned about similar success in Barbados, where researchers power vehicles using rum waste and seaweed. She immediately saw potential in San Diego's craft beverage scene.
And by the next day, I had an email in my inbox from Stone Brewery about how much wastewater you want.
While still in its early stages, this research could have far-reaching impact.
I think Giddy is kind of, you're just like beside yourself.
The International Energy Agency projects a significant shift toward biofuels in global transportation by 2030. And with Sapporo Stone Brewing proudly backing the project, these students may not only be brewing up the future of sustainable fuel, but doing it ethically.
I'm trying to see, is it actually, are we producing energy or are we losing energy to the system, which is obviously not the goal. We want to end up with more energy out than we had in.
Dr. Dalrymple sees the research expanding well beyond USD's labs.
I see our role as being able to provide this insightful knowledge about how do you do this? What's the right formula? Where should you set up these locations? And then we could partner with others who can really help to take it to scale. But they need this kind of information so they do it right.
At USD, one person's empty pint glass could be another's full gas tank.
And that was Abby Black reporting. Now, what do you get when you mix water, lemons, and sugar? Well, for kids in Arizona, it's giving them the ingredients to become savvy business owners. All it takes is something as simple as a lemonade stand.
Let's get around the table here.
There's something sweet brewing at the Glendale Boys and Girls Club.
And I believe this is very empowering for them and getting them ready for the future.
As this small group of future businesswomen
What is income?
work together to sell something delicious.
And Sophia, what is an expense?
It's called Lemonade Day,
How much do we need of sugar?
a 7-week program.
The goal is to try to impact as many youths from inside of the clubs as we can.
Where kids use lemonade to learn about important entrepreneur skills so they can one day create something of their own.
I'm teaching them the basics of how it is to start a business. We're talking about profits, losses, and expenses. Okay, this is a very good lesson right now that we're doing.
Kevin Chavez is a program leader.
They're in that ripe state of mind where they want to learn.
From making the recipe to marketing, financial planning, and customer service,
You can do the first half.
Chavez shows the kids what ingredients can lead to success.
Who wants to take the lead on this? It's okay to fail. And if you fail, you get back up and you keep on trucking.
I want to own my own business for like cupcakes.
This is 10-year-old Janaya,
It's fantastic.
who's been waiting to take this class for some time.
I was supposed to be in Lemonade Day like last year, but I didn't get to because there's like too many people.
This year, though, there was space, and she has since squeezed every bit of knowledge out of the experience.
Now you smile, correct? Yes, absolutely.
We get to do like fun activities, we get to do measurements, and we get to talk about how to be like an entrepreneur.
All right, so let's pour it in there. It's important because we are raising our future leaders. Who can explain to me what customer service is?
According to the Boys and Girls Club, 93% of those who've completed the program feel prepared to enter the workforce.
It's starting your own business and having that pride, saying that you did it from scratch.
Which for this organization is the goal.
It's, it's empowerment.
And as Janaya and her team get ready to serve what they've learned,
They have to work hard and work with others.
they're thankful for the opportunity that they feel has stirred up success in the hearts and minds of others,
Oh, it's yummy.
one cup of lemonade at a time.
That was Jade Cunningham reporting. A fire department is sparking dreams in Minnesota. Crews welcomed 3 new faces onto their team, and while the experience was short-lived, Gordon Severson explains why the opportunity will be remembered by everyone involved.
It's pretty cool.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a firefighter for a day?
Is it on enough?
I think so.
To put on the helmet and jacket and walk in their shoes.
So much fun.
Elizabeth Neville and her friend Jason got to experience that dream.
Pull it towards you.
Like that?
Yep. And then push it.
Working with real hoses and real Minneapolis firefighters.
We're looking for the fire.
Okay.
Yep.
To fight a real-life fire.
Okay.
And save the day.
Okay, it looks like we got a good knockdown.
A once-in-a-lifetime experience for Elizabeth.
What was that like?
So cool.
And this whole experience was actually an auction item that a local man won at a charity event.
I think it was probably in the 2,500 range.
Joel Peters Franson says he was at a charity event for the ARC Minnesota.
Who here knows how to do CPR?
A group that works with people with disabilities when he won this experience. He invited his son and a few others, but then decided to ask a few of ARC's members to share the experience.
I mean, I'm so happy it turned out this way.
And to bring their parents along for the ride.
It's a little crazy and over the top, but you know what? I'm really enjoying it.
A memorable day, even for the firefighters.
I think everybody involved today really had a good time. I mean, I don't think you sign up to be a firefighter if you don't care about helping people.
And even though these rookie firefighters would rather serve their community in other ways,
I'd rather be a cop.
It's still a day they will never forget.
Shout out to all the firefighters out there. Thank you for saving us.
That was Gordon Severson reporting. We're switching to a different career in Illinois now. A barbershop has been a staple for one community since the 50s. Renee Knott introduces us to the woman who is keeping her family tradition going.
There's a slice of Americana.
I don't know how else to describe it.
Along Main Street in Edwardsville.
Almost everyone after a certain age recognizes a barber pole.
A barber pole that's been spinning now.
Oldest running business on Main Street.
For years.
Since 1951.
Carrie has been cutting hair here for nearly half of that time.
I've been doing it for about 32 years now.
Although being a barber was not her first choice.
Maybe I can be a fighter pilot, and then I wanted to go to the moon.
But orbiting heads with clippers is simply what the family does.
I think it's in my blood.
Carrie's granddad started the business.
He knew that this would be a successful place to start a business.
Her father followed him.
I worked with my dad for 9 years.
Now she,
I guess I was all in, because here I am.
Carries on the tradition.
Every time I pull up and put that key in the door, I'm thankful.
She takes a pride in her handiwork.
I love making people feel good about themselves.
Each cut, a work of art.
Paint in my spare time, and so I think that this is quite like a painting.
Each cut.
Just do it by hand.
Also taking its toll.
My hands have gotten bad over the years.
And yet,
I hope that I can sustain as long as I possibly can.
She isn't ready to stop snipping.
It means everything to me.
Not ready for retirement.
I don't plan on ever quitting.
Because she could be the last barber in the family, unless her granddaughters decide to follow grandma.
They're 4 and 18 months, so I'll still be around cutting when they're old enough to decide. But that's kind of my only hope right now.
That was Renee Knott reporting. Now let's head to a football field in Ohio when the game is on the line and that clock is ticking down. The fate of the entire team rests on one leg. David Greenberg speaks to one Cleveland athlete who is embracing one of football's most overlooked and underappreciated positions, the kicker.
It's better to have one and not need one than to need one and not have one.
There we go.
I'm talking about a kicker.
I know, like, we always get the bad rap of not being a football player because we don't hit, but like we score more points than probably a good majority of players on the team. If you get down 3 or less in a game, you're praying you have a good kicker.
It's easy to judge from the comfort of your own couch.
All eyes are on you.
But once you hit the turf,
If you miss, you're the loser.
that pressure ramps way up.
If you make it, you're the GOAT.
And Mason Brown knows all about that GOAT feeling, setting records at Maslin Perry High School.
I kicked it and went through. It was awesome. And then I heard him over the loudspeaker. Mason Brown just broke the school record for longest field goal, and the whole crowd stood up for me and cheered, and that was pretty awesome.
A former soccer player turned kicker, Brown now coaches the position at his alma mater.
The biggest things I tell my kids is to snap the leg back, so at the knee, snap it back, drive through, and then all your momentum should go through to your target.
A lifelong Cleveland sports fan,
I bet I was one of the few kids in Ohio that had a Phil Dawson t-shirt.
he's seen the struggles.
A lot of quarterbacks, a lot of kickers.
13 to be exact, in the last 13 years since Dawson's departure. So that begs the question, are kickers getting worse?
And it is no good. He missed it wide to the right.
I don't think kicking's gone downhill. I think the expectation has gone up. It definitely feels like when we were younger that like kicks were made a lot more with a lot more consistency. But I feel like if we went back and looked, the attempts plus 50 were probably way lower than they are today.
Turns out he's right. From the year Mason was born in 1998 until 2012 when Dawson left the Browns, the average field goal distance was about 39 yards. From 2012 to 2025, that number jumped roughly 13% to 44.5 yards.
I love seeing those long field goals. So when I see those guys like put their leg in the ground, like their full body into that ball and just crush it, I'm just like, wow, like that's impressive.
And while it might feel like kickers haven't been as consistent, makes have actually gone up steadily from about 75% between 98 and 2012 to just above 80% from 2012 until now.
The kickers are just held to such a high standard that if a guy misses one extra point or a field goal, they're like, all right, he's gone. And yeah, but that's the business.
So next time, think twice before moving on, because the grass isn't always greener.
That was David Greenberg reporting. We will be right back with more featured. Here's a quick look at what's ahead. Gardening unearthed a 2,000-year-old mystery. We'll tell you what we know about this Roman tombstone found in a New Orleans backyard, plus delivering children safely to school. After retiring from truck driving, we meet a Texas bus driver who has found his life's purpose on the road. Also ahead, spreading a little fairy tale magic through the power of creative writing, that is. We'll tell you how one woman turned her love of Disney into a storybook success. Welcome back. Reading expands our horizons, allowing us to find connection and community within the pages. Lindsay Buckingham takes us to Ohio to meet an author who is sharing her experience to help adopted children feel seen and understood.
Rachel Martin has always been a storyteller.
Art was my favorite subject. I've always been a creative person.
Through a camera lens,
I love fashion editorial and landscape, like nature.
And through her own words.
I've always wanted my work to tell a story.
The 34-year-old just self-published her first children's book. But to understand why, you have to flip back to the very first page of Rachel's life.
I was born addicted to a few different things, and my caseworker got a hold of my mom when I was 6 days old, and they met at the McDonald's in Brunswick, Ohio.
That handoff became her forever family.
I was very fortunate to just have one foster home, and then they ended up adopting me too.
She grew up in Burbank, Ohio.
Predominantly white community, white family. My parents are white. Small town, like both sides of our house was a cornfield.
In a blended, loving family of 11.
So my parents adopted 8 of us and had 3 biologically.
She had everything she needed, but always noticed one thing.
There was nobody there, that looked like me.
Other kids noticed, too.
On the bus one day, a boy would say, "Why do you take mud baths every day?" They'd say, "You're too white," or "You're not black enough," and fitting in sometimes felt so tough.
So Rachel found her voice through art.
My earliest memories of making books was about 5 or 6 years old. Kindergarten, every single day we would make a book. We probably made hundreds of books.
About 2 years ago, she turned those early dreams into reality.
What's a better time than now? Like, I just need to do this now.
She wrote, illustrated, and self-published all on her own. The beautiful result? Arches and hearts. A nod to where her story began and how that same little girl learned a valuable lesson. Her differences make her special. A message you'll see on every page.
But as I grew, I came to see my differences made me uniquely me.
But Rachel doesn't shy away from the harder truths either.
It's so funny looking at baby photos because it's like, who is that? Adoption, it can be a beautiful ending, but it doesn't erase the broken beginning. Adoption begins with a break. It begins with trauma and loss.
Two valid emotions existing at the same time.
You can feel grateful you were chosen by an adoptive family who loves you and for the opportunities you were given because you were adopted. But you can also be sad for the biological family you missed growing up or maybe never get to meet.
Rachel wrote the book she wishes she had as a little girl. Now she's hoping it finds its way to another child who needs to know this.
Love can find you anywhere it's true, just like it found me that day too.
That was Lindsay Buckingham reporting. Another author in Texas is proving fairy tales don't just live in storybooks. They can grow up with you. Darcy Ramirez has more on how she turned her love for Disney into books.
For Jacqueline E. Smith, Happily Ever After started early.
I was in preschool when I was writing my own little Disney fan fictions and making them into little books that I've stapled together.
The Dallas native grew up as a Disney girl and never outgrew that magic. Her latest collection, The Solstice Stories, reimagines fairy tales through the seasons, from a Beauty and the Beast inspired spring to a snowy new tale called Winter.
So it's that beautiful blend of Disney, of overcoming my own mind, and K-pop that really helped me to finally write these stories.
Jacqueline says the series was inspired by a simple gift from her mom, a silver necklace that sparked the idea of a girl who longs for sunshine in winter.
And I think I wanted to throw those out like a million times, and my mom was always like, "No, keep them. You'll want them one day." And I guess she was right.
Now those preschool stories have blossomed into a full writing career. You can find Jacqueline's Solstice Stories on Kindle Unlimited. And who knows, you might just find a little magic, too.
That was Darcy Ramirez reporting. Don't go too far. We have more for you coming up next.
You don't have to be someone special to do and get something. You just be yourself, and if you see someone in danger or harm, you do what you can.
The brave action this man took that has his community calling him a hero. Plus, a mother's wish for her terminally ill daughter is touching hearts across San Antonio, Texas. How hundreds of strangers are making her dream come true. Welcome back, everyone. Let's dive into what's trending on social media now. A Texas mother went to Facebook hoping to borrow 2 quinceañera dresses for her twin daughters. And what happens next shows us that even in moments of devastation, a simple act of kindness can make it better. Megan Reyna explains.
I'm excited and nervous.
14-year-old Dariella Foster is almost always smiling.
I tell her every day, like, she's the strongest person I know.
And almost always by her twin sister, Daniela's side. But on this Tuesday night, Daniela was a bit camera shy.
Did you know your mom was going to make that post? No.
Neither of them were expecting this attention. On Friday, her mother, Damaris Gonzalez, posted this on a Facebook group asking to borrow 2 quinceañera dresses for the girls who turn 15 next month. Not for a party, because she says she can't afford one, but for photos.
Just to at least have something there, try to make the memories with her, because we don't know how long she will have.
Just days before that post, they found out Dariella's stage 4 bone cancer was now considered terminal.
You know, any mom, it would, you know, it tore my heart. And it's just like, I was just questioning, like, why me and why my child?
Yeah, I'm just trying not to think about it much.
But the response to this post is keeping everyone in this family smiling. More than 3,000 shares and nearly 3,000 comments. Donations have poured in, and businesses have offered free services.
From just dresses to photos, it ended up now we're planning a quinceañera for them.
The date is set. The venue is secured. The dresses are still to be determined. But this family is full of gratitude.
We try to keep our spirits up, but deep down inside, it's heavy on my chest. But with all this positivity coming from everybody, like it's helping me cope through. It's just, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Great story by Megan Reyna. All right, that's a wrap on Trending. Here's a quick look at what's coming up next. Life interrupted her college plans, but decades later, she got back on track. We meet a student who shows us that dreams do not have an expiration date. Thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you uplifting stories across the country. We're introducing you to a student who is living proof that it is never too late to finish what you started. At 77 years young, we'll say, one woman is back in the classroom. Sydney Moore spoke to her about her story of resilience.
At 77 years old, LaRue Moore is a student at North Carolina A&T State University.
I questioned myself, but then I just said, okay, you can do this.
Reminding people it's never too late to chase your dreams.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
She takes classes online from home, but once in a while there's an opportunity for her to stroll through the on-campus library to embrace the university that gave her a second chance.
Went in the admissions office and I love Miss Renee Stewart, I'll never forget her. She said, may I help you? I said, I don't know, I hope so. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm scared if I can even attempt to come here and say, I want to go back to school. I don't want to start crying. And she said, yes, you can go back to school.
Moore started college decades ago at North Carolina Central University.
I went there for a year and a half.
Then life happened before she could finish.
I ended up getting married, children. Then I went on to have a good career in what I was in my lifestyle of working with my company that I'm with now.
Now she's picking up where she left off, not to advance her career.
I didn't come here to rush because I need a job. I'm about ready to retire.
But for herself.
I want to do just to study and enjoy it. I want to be able to take my time to do it, you know, and let it be my journey here at North Carolina A&T State University to get my degree and do it my way.
But North Carolina A&T is more than just a second chance for Moore. She's been connected to this place since childhood.
There was no place for anybody to go. A&T was not on the educational side, it was the social side of Greensboro.
Moore grew up in the Gate City. She was just a young girl when the sit-in movement began.
I was about 12 or 13 during those days. And yes, part of marching, we had instructions and training as going up from 13 to about 16 years old. Marching when Jesse Jackson was here. That was after the NCAT 4 had sat down. And we would take over after the students would leave for summer.
That's why decades later, as an African American studies major, being a student holds a different meaning.
And when I mention the school, Do you know there was a couple from London that knew, oh, you're from the school with the North Carolina 4, NCAT 4, and you don't know the pride that I felt with that?
And homecoming?
It's just a wonderful week.
She's been coming to it for years, tailgating with friends, enjoying the atmosphere. But as a student, this one will feel different.
I'm studying right now so I can be ready. I said, oh God, I got a paper due on the 12th. That's homecoming weekend. Why?
A priority she doesn't take lightly if it means one day she'll walk across the stage with a degree in her hands.
That was Sydney Moore reporting. A Texas bus driver does more than just take kids to and from school. As Jobin Paniker explains, he is also giving them a couple of life lessons along the way.
You ready? Willie Bradford has logged more miles on the road.
Oh yes, it's a beautiful day.
Than most people do in 5 lifetimes.
328 to dispatch. They should be ready. I spent 48 years driving trucks.
48 years?
48 years on one job. Good morning, how you doing?
A Cedar Hill bus driver who takes his job very seriously.
No eating on the bus and no cursing. The little ones will let you know if you're a bad driver. Come on, Mr. King. Good morning, how you doing? Hold on to the rails, watch your step. Hold on to the rails.
And that's because he does so much more than driving.
Take your backpacks off, sit next to the window, put your seatbelts on.
And these young, bright faces
Carter, do not move once you get in that seat.
Are more than just passengers.
We hauling precious cargo, which is our kids.
He is 72 years old.
He drives us to school.
And no one calls him Willie.
Sometimes I call him Coach.
Oh, they call me Coach Bradford.
For 4 decades, he's coached kids in football and basketball, known very well in Little League circles.
I think I play a big part of their life.
Coach, what did you do before you came here?
Willie retired from his one job in trucking.
Good morning, Miss Mallory.
Only to land
Good morning, Miss Williams.
2 jobs he's really good at.
Good morning. We that person that they see in that big yellow bus. We can't add nothing negative to their life. All we can do is add something positive.
Coach tells us his kids and all kids just want honesty. They want direction.
Give her a big hand.
And they want
Mallory had really improved this year from riding the bus. Come
to
on.
be recognized.
Just for good behavior on the bus.
Coach gives out trophies.
There you go. Y'all give him a big hand. It's like giving them love. You know, you love your child, you're going to do anything in the world for them.
Coach had someone like that. The one person who called him Willie.
Making me who I am today.
His mother, Arlene.
And that's a good feeling. Have your mom being your best friend.
He's been in the district 3.5 years. We asked if he'll ever stop driving.
Till I wake up one morning and it's not fun anymore.
In Cedar Hill.
He's a cool bus driver. I like him.
I leave everything behind. I focus only on this yellow bus. And that's bring joy to my heart.
I'm Jobin Paniker.
The 2 men who bravely served our country are now making a positive impact in each other's lives. They're part of an inspiring program that aims to combat a battle many of our vets face here at home. And that's why Sean Martinelli heads to the town in Virginia to get to the heart of it.
At this bar's end, our story begins. A story this pair seems surprised we're sharing.
This is crazy.
Emilio Fristacci served in the Navy during World War II.
He invited me to his birthday party.
John Essie during Desert Storm.
You said you liked Lincolns. No, I had 2 Lincolns.
Their service is separated by generations. So how'd they end up inches apart?
It only cost me $1,500 for the Lincoln. Yeah, $1,500.
You got sticker shock looking for a car now. The best way I can describe it is intentional friendship.
A friendship helped formed by Molly Brooks.
My dad was a career Marine, so I spent my formative years on Marine Corps bases, so I saw what he and other Vietnam veterans went through when they got out of service.
That's what led her to start an organization called Heroes Bridge. The nonprofit provides services for senior veterans. Among them is a program called Battle Buddies. It pairs vets from different generations for a common mission.
It's a big problem for a lot of veterans, especially elderly ones, that you know, they get lonesome and they are socially isolated.
A battle John says they shouldn't have to fight.
I volunteered to be in service. I wasn't drafted.
What did it mean to you to serve your country?
I guess an honor, because I belong to something. My mother used to go shopping for U-Band coffee.
Through regular meetups like this,
U-Band, Folgers, and Maxwell House were the two big ones.
Right, that's it.
vets like Emilio find that belonging again.
The files in that cabinet. It's crazy, the files that are in that cabinet.
He's a good gentleman man that you don't come across people like that often, that you can depend on them.
And in helping build bonds like this.
It's been the greatest joy of my life. My dad passed unexpectedly, so I never got to hear those stories, and I certainly never got to tell him, like, thank you.
In honoring her father's service, Molly's also honoring theirs. What does this friendship mean to you?
It's valuable. Every minute is valuable.
Yeah.
So many people don't know the value.
Who the hell could read this?
Time worth spending, a story worth sharing.
They took pictures already with that?
They've been taking pictures the whole time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
In Warrenton, Virginia, Sean Martinelli.
In Tennessee, a historic storm damaged the roof of a Navy veteran, and his insurance denied payment for repairs. Alice Rold explains how a group of strangers refused to let him carry that burden alone.
Organizations from across the country are joining together to help a Sevierville veteran.
It feels really good to be able to give back to him, somebody that's given so much, not just to his country, but his community here.
After Helene ruined Steve Pappas's roof and his insurance company canceled his policy.
They came out and looked at it and said, well, it was installed incorrectly. And my answer to him was, well, your inspector that inspected the house to write the binder said everything was good.
Texas-based Guns to Hammers and East Tennessee's Spec Building, Barnett Roofing, and Tennessee Distillery are stepping up to repair Pappas's roof free of charge.
I was in for 21 years, and one thing I dedicated to was taking care of my people that I was in charge of, and that don't ever change, whether you're in or out, and it means the world to me.
In Sevier County, I'm Alice Rold.
There is a mystery that archaeologists and anthropologists are trying to solve in New Orleans. That mystery starts with a discovery in the backyard of a home, and it will soon end in a city about an hour north of Rome. Meg Ferris gives us the clues.
He found it right over here on the other side of this tree.
How in the world did something nearly 2,000 years old get from the other side of the world into the backyard garden of a shotgun in the river bend? Well, last spring, Dr. Daniela Santoro and her husband were pulling up 6 years of overgrown vines.
And he calls me and I hear him saying, he's like, oh, I found a really cool stone. I had not in a million years that I think was actually authentic.
The marble stone was etched with ancient Roman abbreviations and names. Daniela is an expert in cultural anthropology and teaches at Tulane, so she got the help of UNO archaeologist Dr. Ryan Gray and Tulane classical studies expert Dr. Suzanne Luznia.
That shiver in your spine, and it's just kind of like, oh my God, this is an actual Roman thing. A little ways up the coast about.
Dr. Luznia researched and combed database after database and found the tombstone had been missing from a museum in Italy since it was bombed in 1943 during World War II.
That it had come from Italy, that it had come from the city of Civitavecchia, which in Roman times was known as Centum Celli.
It was the marker for a member of the Roman Imperial Navy from the 2nd century. She wrote to the museum and even visited them over the summer.
We're pretty sure this is your inscription and it belongs in your museum. And we don't know, how it ended up here, but, we'd like to see that you get it back.
The stone will be officially repatriated back to Italy, so Daniela handed it over to the FBI Art Crimes Unit. Since Dr. Gray wrote about the stone for the Preservation Resource Center, it's starting to get picked up by the national news. Daniela says without those PhDs who dug into history, What she dug up from her garden, the origin may have never been solved.
And the internet, all of AI, all of that at my fingertips could not have located and understood and identified this object if it was not for them.
And now we can only guess how it got here. A souvenir taken by a veteran, sold by someone impoverished in war-torn Italy, sold on the black art market. We may never know.
That was Meg Ferris reporting. Time for a quick break, but here's a look at what's coming up next. A fisherman bought a drone to get a better catch, but instead he's reeling in history. We take a look at what he found in the depths of Maine. Welcome back. There's a little treasure hunter in all of us, right? A desire to find things no one has seen in decades. Now, you might think of shipwrecks out to sea or maybe something buried in a 100-mile wilderness, but one man sets out to places that are often well-traveled. He's just willing to go below the surface. David Guilford heads to Moosehead Lake in Maine.
On this October morning, the Milo native hopped aboard local Dave Pillow's pontoon boat, along with Dave's dog, Aurora. The two men just recently met after Dave became fascinated with Jason's hobby.
Reached out and said, hey, you got a boat? I'm on Moosehead Lake. Come on up.
That's what the fish here.
This underwater drone cost a little more than $4,000. Money well spent for Jason, because he can't get enough days like this.
We explore, the deeper oceans and outer space and all this stuff, and there's all this uncharted or very little explored area right close to home. And, the technology's out there to be able to look at it. And, as someone that loves Maine, loves the Maine waters, and likes to explore, this was right up my alley.
Jason travels to Maine's lakes and rivers in search of artifacts.
I come out not knowing what I'm gonna see. I mean, not far from here, I found the remains of like an old Model A type Ford vehicle.
It's like a treasure hunt. You don't know what you're gonna find.
On this day, bottle after bottle from the bottom.
Okay, so this one still has a metal cover on it and it's full.
Jason's gotten good at dating them.
I would need to look it up, but that would be my best guess, probably from the 50s. My oldest ones so far have been like mid to late 1800s.
Finding the remains of a 19th century whiskey-fueled night on the lake is fun, but this all started as some angler reconnaissance.
My first initial thought was, make my YouTube channel and just explore different lakes and ponds and see what I could see for fish, what the areas look like.
Most bring a fish finder on their boat. Jason comes nose to nose with them. Back in February, my colleague Drew Peters joined Jason in his hometown of Milo, ice fishing with his robotic aid.
A good visual experience of what the underwater world in Maine looks like, from a fish's point of view.
But he doesn't just want to catch fish, he wants to preserve them. Of all of his dives, one of his proudest achievements is finding endangered Atlantic salmon on the Piscataquis River, including the monitoring tags left by researchers who use Jason's videos.
It just helps us keep an eye on the fishery in general.
I called it a hobby, but it's actually become a business for Jason. He makes money from his YouTube page with 750,000 video views to date. And once people saw his work, boaters began hiring him to retrieve their special pair of Oakleys or their beloved fishing rod, lost overboard.
A little delay here. Apparently, we have an aircraft that's in distress.
And when a seaplane went down during a September fly-in on Moosehead, divers asked Jason to survey the wreck. The pilot made it out safely, and eventually, so did the plane.
It's cool to video something like that, but also, you know, want to help get the plane out, you know, environmentally and, you know, just for the guys to get it out anyways, it's the right thing to do.
While I was on board, the best thing Jason found might have been this teacup.
That's a pellet.
Or this bottle that looked like it was shot for target practice. It's not a car or the remains of an old ship, but a day like this, on and under the water, is hard to beat.
That was David Guilford reporting. Dogs are man's best friend, but for one Colorado climber, look at this cutie. His golden retriever is also his best hiking partner. Together, they've taken on the state's toughest mountains that are all over 14,000 feet. Ooh. Rachel Krause has their story.
When Jonathan moved to Colorado, he was eager to take his golden Jackson out on the trails. They started small, wondering if they could put the state's highest spots in their sights.
I've heard about this Colorado thing called the 14er, so I'm gonna go give it a shot with him and see if he enjoys it and see if I enjoy it. And the rest is pretty much history. We got addicted really, really fast.
Together, they started slowly knocking off 14ers.
Every time I got my hiking bag, he would get like really ecstatic. Come on, buddy, stay.
Jonathan planned carefully, hiking on slower days and times to avoid crowds and selecting the simplest routes for Jackson.
Just having such a good time and just figuring out the next paw to take, the next step to take, what ledges to go to. Okay, I actually need to listen to my dad, or I need a booty boost on this one.
To climb safe, Jackson's got his own gear. Kevlar booties protect his paws, a rope leash, and safety harnesses in case he needs to be carried, and always a snack.
He goes absolutely bananas for apples.
Jonathan has documented every hike, climb, and summit they've hit.
So it's been really fun to look back kind of as like a digital diary. So when he's like old and gray and can't really do any hiking, I'll be able to like lay with him and say, hey man, like you did Maroon Bells. Like
this summer, Jonathan took on Pikes Peak, his final 14er. For Jackson, number 47.
I wanted to pick a 14er that he could join me on because he started this all. And I think if it wasn't for him, I would have never been even close to 58.
For Jonathan, a big finish, but maybe not the end for Jackson.
We'll just gauge how he is next year, and if I think he's good to go, then we'll go give it a shot.
Jonathan says no matter how many hikes they have ahead, it's the happy trail of memories left on the mountaintops that'll stay with him.
I'll be able to reflect on him for the rest of my life, and he'll be impossible to ever replace. And for that, he's just a truly special dog to me. Good boy.
Yeah, a very good boy. That was Rachel Krause reporting. Coming up next, a heroic dive earns national recognition. How a scout leader saved a man from drowning. Welcome back. A scout leader jumped into a lake and saved a man in Minnesota, and now he is getting recognized on a national level. Joe McCoy explains.
It is my pleasure to hereby convene a special court of honor.
Not every day does someone do something truly heroic.
Pulled them out of the river in the middle of winter.
But what Chris Kirk did in January of last year certainly fits the bill.
So the whole back and cab and everything was exploded apart.
In the freezing cold, Kirk jumped in the Crow River to save a truck driver that crashed in the water, a response that demonstrated the values he teaches as an adult leader of Boy Scout Troop 547 in Albertville, Minnesota.
A friend and member of our troop adult leadership was able to respond and help this gentleman out that was in a bad spot. Just amazed and astounded and really proud.
Kirk pulled the driver out of his truck and eventually out of the water before first responders arrived.
He was stuck with his legs in the seatbelt, but with his head and shoulder in the water. He was gasping for air with the river rushing against him.
It gives me great honor to present this Heroism Award.
Thursday night, Kirk's actions were recognized on a national scale as he was presented with the prestigious Scouting Heroism Award.
Congratulations.
Wow. I mean, I wish I could be, get that kind of award.
It terrified me because my husband does not know how to swim. So
Kind of shows my kids that you don't have to be someone special to do and get something. You just be yourself, and if you see someone in danger or harm, you do what you can.
Safe to say, Kirk did all that he could. In Albertville,
It does mean a lot.
Joe McCoy.
What a great story. That is it for Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.